Hello Internet, welcome back to our Refugee playthrough, although again, don't know that we're going to be heading back to the Refugee Center. We did choose this town so that we were located in a more favorable position to head back, and I would like to interact with NPCs more. People leave me comments sometimes and ask me, what do I do with this NPC? Why don't you ever play with NPCs? Things like that. So, kind of thought it'd be nice to try something. I don't think I've ever done the quest at the Refugee Center. So, you lose some blood. Well, that's not great. Our head is bleeding. If I recall correctly, we had driven down here, bumped into a rock, got stuck like a fool, and then got attacked on our way out. Oh, and someone told me that if I press tab while in the driver's seat, I will auto attack something adjacent to me. Never knew that. That's super helpful. Thank you very much. Someone also left me a comment today on today's video where they said back at the body drops, which I think we're at the logging camp, there had been a gun or something on the corpses that we found. I remember we commented on the spitter being here and how they spawn at body drops, but I didn't actually loot the bodies because I think I took a break of a day in between those episodes, and that really screws me up. So, and again, today is like 4 days since I last recorded. Just having, family stuff that we've talked about multiple times that we probably don't need to keep talking about, but it's been making things difficult. In fact, right now my brother is very sick and has been coughing and sneezing a lot, and that raises a lot of concerns about coronavirus. And no one in my family seems to be bothered in the slightest. What is this corpse? What is this corpse? Zombie runner. That's the one that we killed in our vehicle, I think. If we run over it, it should just... Okay, so we're seeing the zombies. Are these the ones to the south? They are. So I would still like to settle down here. What is this? Cemetery. Oh, actually, that might be a spawn location for quite a lot of zombies. That might be where they came from in the first place. Or it could be liquor store. There are new liquor store variants. I don't know if some of them have zombie spawns or not. Kind of wanted to settle into one of these houses here. Oh, there's also a park. So my hatred of parks is well documented on the channel as well. They spawn like 50 zombies in a park for no reason at all. Never mind, we're going to settle up here, which I think is where the Migo was, and we said we didn't want to settle up here, but honestly, I just want, so far, and it's another smoker zombie. Why am I seeing smokers on like day one, by the way? It's not what I would consider typical. I just wanted to settle into a game, and so far this seed has been really not helpful. So we see the amoebic mold. Let's stop here. I don't remember where the Migo was, because it's been several days since I played. I don't want to get murdered, but also, whatever, I guess dying is part of Cataclysm. This looks like a body drop, actually, because there's drugs. Also, acid splatter from a spitter. Okay, so again, the body drop spawned a spitter, which is why we're seeing them on day one. I guess maybe that's where the smoker came from as well, but I've never looked into the smoker's spawns. I just did the spitters for a video a while back. Definitely want the baseball bat. We do have an aluminum bat. Is it aluminum? It is. But we would like the other bat as well, just as a backup weapon as this one gets damaged. What's interesting is that these appear to be the sports corpses. So if you're not familiar, there are a series of different types of body drops. Some are science-y, which is where you'll usually see like the Migo and the Krek and stuff spawn. Some are drug dealers, where you will find a lot of guns, a lot of drugs. Some are sports teams, where it's like just a collection of jerseys and baseball bats and basketballs and things like that. So it looks like there may have been two overlapping spawns, because we're seeing the sports guys over here. We're seeing drug deal over here. And I don't know which ones the spitter spawns at. Probably any of them. But we did see Amigo in the area as well, didn't we? And you wouldn't expect to see Amigo at these body drops. So I don't know really what to make of this. We will take the Coke. And let's deal with these corpses. Oh, it's two spitters. They must have been killed very quickly to have them die on the same tile. Quickly dismember them. Great. Look at their corpses. Stylish wallet with 34 items. I mean, I have to know what's in there. That's too many items. Who puts 34 items in? Well, I guess if I count business cards, I probably have that in my wallet right now, but it's not really what I meant. Open, I think, shows, okay, 5 $10 bills, loyalty cards, 18 ones, 2 silver gas discount. I guess those are cards as well. And 6 $20 bills. This dude has 120, 170, and 18. $188 in his pocket, plus a cash card with twice that, plus, okay. I don't know what these discount cards and loyalty cards actually do. Probably nothing. They're probably just flavor items. Take your cocaine. Giant web spider. Yeah, I don't know. Are all spiders hostile? I think they are. You over there? I don't think you can see me. Spider could cause us a lot of problems this early in the game, though. I'm going to take all this cocaine. And I'm going to haul the baseball bat back to our vehicle. That way we have that backup weapon. Okay, and we'll just plop this on a seat here. Baseball bat to the SWAT truck. Great. Alright. Let's find ourselves a home. We're on episode 4. We should have had a base by now. We're only 3.5 hours into the game. They let go of the controls. No, I need you to start for me. Fails to start, starts up. Great. Yeah, like, so my brother's sick. And he's been coughing a lot and wheezing and making all kinds of terrible noise. And, of course, my first thought and concern is coronavirus. And my family doesn't seem too worried about that. And it worries me that they're not worried. And I feel like we should be taking precautions. He has been relatively isolated. My niece was here. He didn't really interact with her. And, you know, at first everyone was saying, like, oh, it only affects old people. But we know that that's not true. You know, we've seen... I'm worried about... If I hit them with my car and I overshoot, we might get revealed to more enemies. Just hit them. That tough zombie... Hit the lamppost. Okay, yeah, so we are seeing more of them. Let's turn around before we get too close into their vision radius. Oh, and there's a guy in my car. Of course there is. I always forget to close the doors because I'm new. Let's speed up and try to clip some of these guys. You hit me in the eyes while driving. Did you really think that that was a good idea? Man, being able to tab while driving to just auto hit that guy is super handy. I think in the last episode I was trying to let go of the controls and swing at people. Just get out. Just stop driving. Just get out of the vehicle. Let's head over here. Deal with these guys. Sorry, I had to put a cut in there. My brother was doing that thing where he stands outside my door and listens to me record. Because he has some serious delusions about being recorded and things like that. So I'm pretty concerned when he stands outside the door and listens to me. Because I never know, like, how hyped up is his paranoia. You know, what is he thinking? Does he think I'm recording him? You know. But it sounds like he is going downstairs. And it sounds like he walked out the front door. It's been very tense in my household with that. I don't know where he's going when he's sick or why he would expose himself to other people, but, you know. Obviously he's not super concerned about how he affects other people. So if he did, he wouldn't do half the things he does. But anyway, let's not talk about that just in case he did not leave and he's downstairs or something. Yeah, so we're on still on day 1. We're only about 4 hours into the game and we still haven't settled into a base, which is super unusual for me. We have a bite on our arm. I never did get any disinfectant. I wonder who bit me. Was that while I was driving, I bet. Grabs you, bites your torso. No. Are these messages color-coded? I don't know if they are. You hear thump, 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 thump. You're bleeding. You're blinded. Break out of the grab. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there we go. Bite wound feels really deep. Yeah, it was while I was stuck in the car. Alright, well, man, y'all can see me, huh? I didn't think all of you had that kind of vision radius. I don't think they do. I think they're just trailing along with the others. Maybe they heard the vehicle. I really don't want to fight that dog and tough zombie, especially not at the same time. Is this mountable terrain? It's not. So we'll just walk around the corner, break line of sight, and get them to trickle around, hopefully one at a time. Breaking line of sight isn't super duper significant when they're that close. They're still going to follow right to you, basically. We're taking a real beating. I would have expected... Our strength is low. Our stats are lower. I would have expected the baseball bat to perform a little better. 22 bash, plus 3 to hit. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know why... Oh, sounded like a zombie died around the corner. Let's take a peek, see if those others are coming. They're not. Alright. I hear things dying. I'm wondering if this hedge maze is packed full of zombies. So I've never seen a hedge maze before in the game. Or in real life, for that matter. I've only ever seen a corn maze in real life. But, yeah, I can hear things dying. My thinking is, so a lot of times when people add things to the game... like a hedge maze, it's a cool idea. I think, you know, it's neat. It reminds me of an old roguelike I played called Omega. One of the starting cities had a big hedge maze with some cool stuff in it. Or the starting city. And, like, it's a cool idea, you know, whatever. They're not really common in real life to see a hedge maze, but they exist, so why not add them to Cataclysm? The problem is, whenever people add stuff like this, a lot of times they just dump a shit ton of zombies in there. So what I'm guessing is that there's thorny terrain or terrain that can hurt you in here. Maybe some plant monsters or something like that I'm just not familiar with. And these guys are dying, would be my guess. They're stepping on rose bushes or whatever. What is this? Tall hedge. Yeah, I'm hearing... I can hear them die. It's very, very faint. I have my sound turned way down, but there's definitely something dying nearby. Oh, I really don't want to go in and fight. Let's go in and take a look. I'm gonna peek every corner. I can't, like, maybe it's just a bug with the audio. I can't see anywhere else on the map that would have a lot of zombies. So I'm just trying to be careful. But I also feel like I'm just going to get surprised as I come around a corner and get blindsided by a ton of zombies. Weird thing to add. What was that? What are you? Oversized crow. Horrible crow. A horrible bird grown 3 or 4 times bigger than it ought to be possible, and sporting a swollen gut that might look comical if it weren't for the razor-sharp beak and the madness in its beady eyes. Well, you don't seem to be hostile. You're fleeing. Maybe there are mutated animals in here that the zombies are getting into fights with. What was that? What is this? Chipmunk. Hello, chipmunk. So yeah, we have some concerns at the household about, obviously about my brother's behavior. If you've been watching the update videos, you know that that's been pretty out of control lately. And then on top of that, he seems to have gotten himself pretty sick. He's always been the one who was not taking this very seriously. I always knew if my family got it, it would be because my brother brought it to the house. Oh, sorry, Fox. I didn't mean to hit you. Don't take it personal. Why is it... Okay. I was going to say, why is there a crow tile but not a giant crow tile? But it kind of makes sense. Maybe because like you don't want to show the player exactly the same as a crow tile, then they'll think it's a regular crow and get mad when it turns out to be a mutant that can actually defend itself or whatever. So I guess that makes sense. I'm concerned about our arm. Oh, we have very severe bleeding, apparently. Minor bleeding, minor bleeding. Oh, it's just a darker color because the bite is underneath. I thought that kid had, like, tore out our jugular or something. Let's just keep on cautiously. Like, this is so stupid. Like, I don't want to be in the hedge maze. I just came in to pulp the corpses of what I hear dying. because I assumed that they were dying in here. But now that I'm like mostly through it, I don't know if that's even correct. Yeah, here, chipmunk. I'm still hearing hissing and dying noises. What is this? A gazing ball. Uh-huh. That also actually reminds me of Omega. I think in the hedge maze at the beginning of Omega, you get a looking glass. If I'm remembering right. What is a gazing ball? That is a gazing ball. I have no idea what that is. Is that a real thing? I'm going to go to Google, because why not? Alright, I brought up Google. Gazing ball. It's just a metal sphere, or like globe style. It's just a ball made of steel or some reflective surface. And then there's a picture of Buddha, which shockingly Buddha is not whatever that's supposed to be. So, alright. I think my sound just... No, because from the east you hear whack. Something is fighting in there. We haven't revealed the whole area. Maybe there's a hidden passage or something. I don't know. This has just been a huge waste of my time. Like I said, I get hedge mazes. Okay, try this again. Hedge mazes, not haze medges. Hedge mazes are an interesting idea, and they do exist, so I don't think it's terrible. Like, why would you just put a bunch of kid zombies and stuff in the middle of the hedge maze? It just... Do you really think... In Cataclysm, the apocalypse happened really quickly. Do you really think there were people who died and resurrected in a hedge maze? Like, honestly, do you not think that there was, like... I don't know the exact lore of Cataclysm, but don't you think, like, canonically there's probably some emergency message situation that went out and told people to go to their homes and avoid, you know, like, just avoid other people, quarantine family members, you know, this is an emergency message, blah, blah, blah. Why would people be in a hedge maze at the start of the apocalypse? And then don't try to tell me either that zombies meandered their way into the center of the hedge maze. Like, just, you know, same with the parks that I always complain about. It just doesn't make sense that people would die and resurrect there, that there would be such a huge horde in a park, you know. It just is peculiar to me. Let's just leave this here. We're going to secure this house if we're able. We need to find disinfectant and treat our bite wound. I don't think we have anything that can treat it in the vehicle. I don't think we picked up very much stuff. So let's just start looting houses, because we need to... We're on a clock now. We need to find disinfectant. Thankfully, is relatively common these days. Heartburn medicine is not going to do it. Cotton balls, bleach. I don't think you can make bleach into any sort of disinfectant. And if you could, it probably requires bigger skill than I have. Cough syrup. Nope, nope, nope. No disinfectant. I don't know how common disinfectant is in the real world. I personally think we probably have a bottle of peroxide and a bottle of rubbing alcohol, but that's about the extent of it. And honestly, those are things that I think people do have in their houses, because people will, like, get a cut or whatever, then they'll go out and buy a bottle of hydrogen peroxide. And because it's not really something that you consume en masse, it's one of those things that's like an occasional use type of item. I think it's just a bottle that sits in your bathroom for the next 6 years until you spill it or use it up or whatever. Detergent's not going to do it. We're going to pop immediately to the other houses. I'm not going to settle in when we need to address our bite wound. So we're not even really going to do much looting. How's our inventory? Very open. Plenty of space. Keep an eye out for zombies as we progress. Kind of want to watch this angle here in case there's stuff that comes through the woods there. I don't really want to smash, because there were zombies on the street. They might hear me smash the window. I don't know how loud and how much that carries. I don't have the means to make lockpicks. Wires or scrap metal, but metal sawing is required. It's not going to fly unless this clothesline is made of wire, but we would have to smash the clothesline as well. Rotary clothesline, that might actually give wire. It did. Hopefully that wasn't so loud that the zombies come. Dispose, drop item. It's fine. Pick up the aluminum bat. Okay. See if we can pick this door. Improvise lockpick. Oh, we're supposed to have questions in this. Zombie spotted. Where you at, dog? Supposed to ask a question in every video. I'll do that here in a moment as we deal with this gentleman. Got another deep bite wound. They really are biting today. It's unfortunate. Let's grab ourselves a question, shall we? Click, scroll, click. If you were suddenly transported... Wait a minute. Oh, if you were suddenly transported to another planet, how would you assess the situation? Okay, I guess we'll go with that one. I wouldn't assess the situation if I were suddenly transported. Okay, it's getting a little frustrating with how non-combat capable we are. I guess it's just because we have shitty gear that we're not really... We're taking a lot of hits. And the bat just isn't feeling very good. I guess it's fine. Okay, it's just we need to look for disinfectant. We should also bandage our wounds. I don't know how long it takes a bite to go from deep bite wound to fully infected, so I'm trying to do this quickly. I usually have antiseptic basically immediately. So let's make some actually we can just use the rags. The chance to stop bleeding is fine even with just rags. So let's quickly apply to our wound. No limb would benefit from it. That's funny because I can clearly see that I'm bleeding. Apply to wound. Okay, clearly says minor bleeding. Does the rag not have a bleeding ability anymore? Except I can't scroll this menu anymore. Let's find the rags. Rag. It does not appear to have a bleeding, the chance to stop bleeding anymore. That's interesting. I don't know why I need to convert it to bandage, but okay, we'll do that. Dispose, drop item, wield, yes, apply bandage. At this point, we've stopped bleeding, but let's just make sure. Okay, we can apply bandages. We'll take them with us and go back on our endeavor to find disinfectant. Okay, so if I was transported to another planet, I wouldn't be assessing anything. I would be probably suffocating from the lack of oxygen, would be my assumption. How do you get transported to another planet? Do you mean like literally I just get poofed to a new planet? And I would just die, presumably. But that's probably not fun and not what people want to hear. So, all right, well, Maslow's hierarchy, right? First step is you know, your basic needs, like physical needs need to be met. So try to secure food, water, shelter, air, things like that, if that's something I need to find. Although it's a new planet, so presumably there's no infrastructure. So I assume also that there's life on the planet. Just smash the fucking window. I'm tired of standing outside. Let's go find some disinfectant. Okay. Would love some disinfectant. Would be great. Not going to do it there, unfortunately. Towel in the bathroom. I don't know if you can find disinfectant like in the kitchens or anything. I'm just going to keep looking through bathrooms, I think. No, don't step into the broken glass. Okay. A little worrisome about the front being exposed like this. Because we did see some on the streets earlier. We do see a zombie. No disinfectant. No disinfectant. Okay, we'll take the aspirin though. I don't think no, we don't have any in our car. I don't think there would be any in the kitchen. Really need to keep pushing houses. Let's head up here to the one that stands on its own, so we're, you know, limited exposure. Yeah, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I mean, you need to secure some sort of shelter. By the time night comes, you have no idea how long the days and nights are on a new planet. So it could be, you know, a very lengthy nighttime. You have no idea how cold it gets, how hot it will be. Really don't want to deal with 3 feral runner types or zombie runners at the moment. No, don't step in the rose bush. Just pop in. I don't know how good their hearing is. The bathroom, unfortunately, is at the front of the house, which would put us in a direct line of sight with the runners. So, just think we leave. We're pretty injured. I really don't want to keep getting into fights. Our stats are low. Our speed is low. So just head over here. We have 2 deep bite wounds. Cauterizing is really not an option when there are 2 of them like that. Keep looting houses, I guess. We might actually be dying soon. So that's unfortunate, because I don't think... if I don't find disinfectant, finding the antibiotics is going to be even harder. So... And then the recovery time from infections, people have said, is really terrible recovery time that makes you not want to play the game anymore when you get an infection. I guess we can check the kitchen. I don't think there's disinfectant in the kitchen. Yeah, bleach is not going to do it. Just dump bleach in your wounds. That's totally fine. That's how disinfectant works, right? So you have no idea how long the day-night cycles are. You really need to be... Just no disinfectant. Really need to be on the ball immediately in a survival situation like that. You can't put it off. You can't wait. You really have to go immediately to try and address... Oh my god. Really need to try and address everything as quickly as possible, because you don't know when nightfall is coming. And you really need to deal with things as quickly as possible. I don't know. You would be dead. Like, there's no way you survive, because the reality is that on a foreign planet like that, you have no idea what's poisonous, what's edible. You have no idea what's safe to be around. You have no idea what is an herbivore, what is a predator. A lot of dead fish. Oh, it's bird litter. I thought these were weird little fish corpses. Apparently not. Let's hop this fence, see if we can find some disinfectant. Antiseptic, that'll do. Take the matchbook as well. Would like a little bit more than this, just because of the rate at which we're getting. Did my bite wound go away on its own? How about that? Someone said they can. I remember we had this conversation recently. I'd never seen it do that before, but it did in a recent playthrough. So I guess one of them went away. We only have 3 charges of antiseptic, which is obviously suboptimal. But it's something, and it certainly spares us from the grief we were going to experience in being exposed to an infection. Let's go to our new base. Your wet feet make it harder to climb. Why are my feet wet? How do you know I have wet feet? Maybe walking through the grass in the... That's like 3 in the afternoon. Wouldn't be dew and stuff. Did I walk through a water tile? I may have. I don't think I did, but... I actually wrote a novel about a group of young adults who get dropped on a new planet and have to fend for themselves. But I thought about some of these things where, like, you wouldn't know what food is poisonous and what food is not. You've literally never been a part of this biosphere before. So, like, if you eat anything, even if it's not harmful per se, it's still probably very different from anything you would find on Earth, and your digestive system is not accustomed to that. So I hypothesize that basically, even if you were pretty prepared to go on this journey, you're probably going to get a lot of infections. You're going to get a lot of inflammation. You're probably going to have, like, diarrhea every day because you're not used to digesting this sort of food. And even if it's made up of the same components, that doesn't mean that like even if it breaks down into the same, like, even if it's carbon-based life that's similar to life on Earth, it's still foreign to your digestive tract. People get sick when they eat regular food that they have never eaten before, let alone trying something completely new to existence. And then on top of that, you add into the fact that you are also a foreign body in this environment. You have no idea what bacteria you're bringing into the environment. You have no idea, like, obviously you have no idea what bacteria or viruses could exist on the life on that planet, but, like, also you yourself are a walking biological bomb at that point. You know, every time you defecate, every time you bathe yourself, your digestive tract contains bacteria that came from Earth, this completely new biosphere that has never been exposed to humans before. You're putting every living thing on the planet at risk just by going to the bathroom. So, like, there's some cool implications and stuff that you can really expand it on and think about. But, like, for the most part, I think you would just die. In my story, in fact, I had such a hard time making it so that, like, it was, like, I couldn't get past that mentally. I felt like, God, I wish, why do so many curtains in houses not have, like, some windows have curtains, some don't. I just don't, I don't know why that is, and I hate it. Here we have a bedroom that only has 3 curtains. Super peculiar. In my story, I couldn't get past that. I kept thinking, like, well, they're going to kill everything on this planet just by nature of existing and being around them. How do we kind of fix some of this? You know, they don't know what's poisonous. And so I ended up making it so, like, there's actually been a ton of research done. They just weren't really aware of the research, but the government's been doing research for a long time in this area, so they're familiar with the life forms. They've, collected them in specimen bags and auto-dissected them and that sort of thing, because it is slightly in the future where that might be capable. I think I read, was it one of the Expanse books? They go to a planet that's pretty, that has never really been settled before, and there's, I think they, like, basically they collect a specimen, they put it in a bag, and it automatically, like, injects the creature and takes samples and stuff. And, like, I thought that was a really cool idea, so I tried to work that into my... it doesn't happen in my book, but it happens kind of off camera, so to speak. So I thought that was a cool idea. That way, when people arrive on the planet, they do have some idea of, like, what chemically is dangerous and what isn't. That obviously can't completely remove the possibility of allergic reactions, you know, your body taking in something that you've never really had before. Always opens you up to, like, anaphylaxis and that sort of stuff. So in my story, I deployed a bunch of people with, what do they call it? EpiPens and stuff was a standard part of their kit. So, like, you know, you end up thinking about that kind of stuff, and it's just a neat thing to sort of conceptualize. It's not really something I had given much thought to prior to that. That book is terrible. I wrote that novel maybe 5 years ago. It's called Argus, or Argos, depending on how you pronounce that Greek location. I don't actually know. But yeah, it's actually terrible. I've been looking at it recently because I've been planning to, by this time next year, I want to have an ebook published. And I was looking through all my old novels thinking, like, oh, I'll just go through and edit one. It'll be super easy because I already wrote the first draft of all these novels. And then I went through and I'm like, you know what? These are actually pretty terrible and need a lot of editing. Might be better to just start something from scratch, which is rough. But I think if you start with a more solid first draft, I cannot believe these people don't have food. They have a burrito, some yogurt and pudding, some hard cheese, and some cheese. That's the whole food. Oh, and they have a single egg. That's all the food they have in their fridge. And spoiler alert, all of that is lactose intolerant except for the egg. So we can't actually eat anything in this person's fridge, which is a bummer. Let's in fact take all of this dairy out of here so I don't have to look at it and it won't tantalize me. Yogurt is delicious, and the fact that my guy can't eat yogurt. I'm sorry, we're a lady. We're Vi, right? Drop our food. We're, Vi Love It. A lovely name. We'll never get to eat pudding or yogurt. That's so sad. We can pop over in the neighbor's house. We already smashed out the window and stuff. We're hungry. We're thirsty. We really need to address our needs. Child zombie. I really would rather not fight you. We're already very injured for how early in the game it is. Okay. Pickles. Some fruit. God, does no one have food in their fridge? Okay. Really not much here. Give me the lunch meat. I don't really want the beverages. Give me the fruit. And the pickles, I guess. Really lackluster kitchens so far. Let's drink our fill a bit. We are thirsty. This will give a little bit of staving off our hunger. Crispy cranberry. Fruit jam. I thought it was juice. There was juice next door. Go ahead and have a beer as well. You're in pain and whatnot. Go ahead and eat that tomato. Just hork down a whole uncooked, not as an ingredient, just a straight up tomato. Not in a sandwich. Oh, there's some cereal and stuff. Oh, I see. Did they move dry goods to the cabinets instead of just being randomly? Yeah, it looks like they added dry goods to the single-use storage or whatever it's called. Specific the sus containers, which was like the junk drawers and stuff. It looks like they've added some dry goods to that as well. So we will take this cereal. We'll have to check our base as well for some of these dry goods. Take some peanut butter. Man, I hate peanut butter. Alright, I think that'll do for now. Let's pop over next door. Try to avoid that child zombie. I really don't want to fight anymore. We're pretty injured. It's still early in the game. I don't want to, end up ruining myself for the days to come and then not being able to do anything. We're going to drop our food here. And why don't you have a few fistfuls of cereal? Why not? Corn cereal. Sounds delicious. Moderate pain. We do have aspirin. We don't have aspirin. We have it on the pile here. Take a few aspirin to alleviate some of our pain. We did have that beer, which should help a little bit. Click. Okay. Yeah. So we're over 30 minutes. I want to take this as a moment to say again, like I'm a little embarrassed at how I've been kind of performing over the last couple of episodes. It feels so weird to be recording again. I feel so out of practice. And I'm sure that there are going to be some people who leave me a comment, say, oh, you're doing great, whatever, don't worry about it. But, like, I can feel it, Like, I can feel that I'm not doing as well as I normally would. I can feel, like, the complaints coming out of me a little bit more easily. I've been very irritable. There's been a lot of family stuff going on, and I'm not handling it real great. And I can tell, I don't really know how to fix that. Other than to keep going to therapy and talking about it, I guess. But, yeah. So, everybody, thanks for bearing with me. I appreciate that you've been watching this series. Hopefully, you had a good time. Hopefully, you like hearing me ramble on about alien worlds. And I'll try to come back with some more Cataclysm in the near future. So, for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.